Hey,
Joel, this movie is intense. It is incredible. It had me every step of the way. And you know what? It's been a long time since I've seen a movie like this, like a Serpico style, like informant style movie. But one thing that was really fascinating to me is that you were coming right off of Altered Carbon and jumped right into the role of Pete. How did you prepare for such a shift? And can you talk to me about preparing for such a role in such a quick amount of time?
yeah, I mean, I've done that quite a few times where you sort of just jump in. And I think, it was one of those things where, um, I was a little, because it had a dialect, like he's a New York guy, he grew up in Brooklyn. And dialect work is something that can, really take time. But because I've done a New York dialect before, I kind of just had to brush it up and just give it a little more of a Brooklynish flair to it. Um, yeah, so it was. I didn't find it. It wasn't that tricky. It felt like it was the kind of character that I could jump in on short notice with. It wasn't short notice, but it was. It wasn't that much time in between.
Right. Like a quick turnaround. Now, can you talk to me about who Pete Kozlo is?
Um, so Pete Kozlo is a guy's a former special operations military guy. Did a few tours in Iraq, and he had an unfortunate situation where his wife was attacked in a parking lot, and he jumped in to protect her, and then he accidentally kills the guy. And his military background and his skills were seen as an aggravating circumstance. So he gets put to prison for manslaughter, and in prison he gets approached by the FBI,
Right.
And they see that because of both his military background, but also that he grew up in this Polish neighborhood in Brooklyn and was a bit of a street guy before the military. They see him as the perfect CI to infiltrate this Polish mafia organization. And the movie starts when he's right at the end of doing his like tour, what you call it, for the FBI, and they're just about to do kind of the final mission that will put the nail in the coffin for their case. And then shit really goes south, and a New York NYPD detective gets killed. So the feds get really cold on him and come up with a plan that the only way that they can keep him alive in this is if he actually goes back into prison.
Right. Now, can you talk to me about because you talked about working with the FBI. Does Pete trust Rosamund Pike's character, Agent Erica Wilcox? And Rosamund Pike's character seems to parallel Pete's situation in a lot of aspects.
Yeah, no, it's a really well crafted script in that way, where the where trust is a big part of the film. Like, who do you trust? Can you trust anyone? And it's about a man that's literally fighting to get back to his family.
Now, Andrea De Stefano wrote and directed the film, and he also did the Escobar Paradise Lost film. But this is very similar to that film, but it's told from the perspective of kind of like the background characters or the foot soldiers, we'll say. Can you talk to me about the collaboration process working with him?
Yeah, Andrea is a great director. He was super dedicated and well researched. It was very important for him that everything feel realistic, both how the FBI operate. We had several FBI detectives, high level detectives that were consulting on the film, as well as people from the U.S. penitentiary system. So that's what you see in the film. Like the prison is going to surprise some people to see that people are actually in dorms, in bunk beds. And there's a level of insecurity for the inmates because of that we really wanted to portray. So like a lot of the arenas that the film goes into are portrayed in a very realistic way. And Andrea, being a former actor, he's very in tune to our process. And he was really scaling my performance back. He was really just like, just breathe, just take it all in. And so it was a great collaboration.
Well, Joel, thank you so much for your time. Amazing job. And you're right. That was the first time I saw like the overcrowded prisons about how they really are. But thank you so much for your time, man. Incredible job.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Take care.